Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Ready, Set, Recap, where we recap what's been going on. I'm Daniel, joined as always by my best friend, Skyler.
Hello, everyone.
This week, in the news, we've got the first full trailer for Supergirl, a very funny story about Jonathan Majors, some stuff about the cost of Grand Theft Auto, and I'll be honest with you, not a huge week, but a lot, or maybe a little more than that. But before we get in all that, Skyler, what's been going on with you this week?
Well, I'm sure we'll be able to spend enough time talking about how 3 people got sent home on Survivor.
It's not great. It's not great, and I'm not happy about it.
But as for what I've been doing this week, I saw a couple movies, as I do. Some might say on the surface, I basically saw the same movie twice. Because the big movies out right now, not counting the Mario one, because that's big. I don't know if it's good. I haven't seen it, but it's big. But the 2 movies that I saw that are big are Ready or Not 2.
Ready or Not.
Here I Come is
Here
what it's
I
called.
come.
And I also saw They Will Kill You.
So it's Zazie Beetz trying to not get killed by rich people, and then other people trying to, I don't remember the name of the actresses in the other one, but also trying to not get killed by rich people.
It's Samara Weaving.
Oh, from Hollywood.
Niece of Hugo Weaving. Hollywood?
The miniseries on Netflix, Hollywood, that's really good.
Is she in that?
She is the love interest, sort of, to, why am I spacing on his name right now? Superman.
Oh,
New
wait.
Superman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cornsweat.
Yeah,
Okay.
David Cornsweat.
That's cool.
It's a really good miniseries, and you should watch it sometime.
She's fun. She's good and stuff when she shows up. And then the sister in this one is Catherine Newton, who we all like. She's fun.
I prefer her brother Fig.
Okay. Yeah, so it's a lot of girls being chased and murdered by various forms of rich people who I don't know how much was shown in the trailers for They Will Kill You, so I won't really say certain things in there just in case it's a spoiler, but
she's like a maid in a hotel or some shit, and then a kid stabs her in the butt.
she's got stuff going on.
Yeah.
I liked them both. I did.
Yeah.
I don't think I was as crazy as on the first Ready or Not as a lot of people were, but it is fun, and this is equally as fun. It's a good, follow up to the first one. I did surprisingly enjoy They Will Kill You more, because it's a much wackier film.
I don't know if I'm speaking for the audience here. I've already forgotten which one's which.
That's okay.
Which one was that? Which was the good one?
At the end of the day, I recommend seeing them both if it seems like it's your jam.
But was the better one the Samara Weaving one?
No, the Zazie Beetz one.
Okay, the Zazie Beetz one. Okay, cool.
Yeah. That's the better one. Because it's wacky. It's very Kill Bill coded. Is my review of it.
Okay. Yeah, sure. So the next sequel will be in Fortnite.
Yeah, probably.
Cool,
yeah, strangely enough, yes.
So it's just women trying to not get murdered by rich people. So it's just so it's a 2026 period piece.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Very indicative of the times we live in. And as long as the women win, then it's a fun time. We'll see if they all win in this. We'll see. If you go see it, I won't spoil it.
Pretty good. Did you see any other movies about trying to not die as a woman?
No, I didn't. I don't know if that's what Mario is about. Well, technically, this is a last year movie, so I wasn't going to bring it up, but I will now since it kind of fits the description. I did watch Sydney Sweeney's The Housemaid.
I don't know. I have no idea what that is.
Sydney Sweeney.
Okay.
Known from allegedly having great genes.
Sure.
No, those aren't my words. Those are her words. Or no,
it's like Levi's words or something.
Levi's words.
It's one of them. I apologize if it was Wrangler, but I'm assuming Levi's because that's the jeans guy.
Sure. She becomes a housemaid for Amanda Seyfried, and the trailer looks so trashy.
Sick.
And it was just one of those things where it's like, well, it's here. I'll watch it, and then I did, and it takes some twists and turns that maybe people saw coming, maybe they didn't. It's a series of books apparently, and it's getting a sequel, which is kind of what prompted me to watch it. I was like, how's this gonna? What's gonna? And without spoiling it, really, what happens? She kind of becomes a superhero at the end in a way.
All right.
That's all, you know. And also, by the time that this recording comes out, it is my birthday, so there's that.
It is
Yay!
presently your birthday.
Yay! By the time this comes out, we will be locked in an escape room together.
Right. And I'll have killed at least one of our friends.
You have to. You have to escape.
Is Abrar going to
That's
be
the
there?
rule. He's gonna be there.
Do you want to place a bet on whether or not he like accidentally pockets a key item that we need?
When you say accidentally,
Yeah.
because I think it's entirely possible that he, on purpose,
We
withholds information from us for like 30 minutes
the last time that
out of the hour we're
the,
allotted.
me and my family went to that exact same escape room however many months ago, and my sister's boyfriend Francisco, there's like a rock that you have to, it's got like a magnet in it that you use as a key, and he would just had, we were looking for it for, I want to say 10 minutes. It wasn't that long, but you know, it feels like that in an escape room.
Of course.
Just like had it in his back pocket and forgot that it was there.
Oh, that's not good. You don't do that in an escape room.
No, they tell you very specifically not to put things in your pockets.
Of course. Of course. My only thing similar, because I haven't done as many escape rooms as you have. I've only done two. And in one of them, the first one I ever did, we went with our friend Jaime, and they say be very careful with the props. And he just fully broke one. He like ripped it in half.
In his defense, it was a book that was for some reason glued shut. You wouldn't think that you wouldn't be able to open it.
That's fair. Yeah. But like at the certain point of like, oh, this is glued shut. His brain was like, no, I gotta. There's something in here. I gotta get.
It was
open.
the masculine urge.
I don't know why they're hiding it from me, but I
Right.
gotta get it open.
Like a pickle jar, there's a masculine urge to get that thing out of there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You do anything else this
So
week?
shout out. No, I don't think so.
Pretty good. This week I did a couple of things. None of them like super exciting, but I'm going to talk about them anyway. So first of all, I have now officially 100%ed Resident Evil 9 Requiem.
Oh, very nice.
It is, we've already talked about this, a really great game. Love that game so
Yes, it
much.
is.
Probably
Yep.
game of the year unless something somehow comes out
Probably.
above it. But boy, oh boy. So basically, because we did the spoiler cast, I don't know, however many weeks ago. And at that point, the only thing that I had left that I needed to do was the like quote unquote speed run. Not like but you know, not an actual speed run, but like, you know, beat it in 4 hours.
Yeah, of course.
And then the insanity run. Speed run, not bad. Pretty easy actually. Especially once you get infinite ammo, you're like, yeah, man, no problem. Easy.
That's how it goes. Yeah.
Right. Because at that point you're just, I mean, you're spent every second that you're normally sneaking around as Grace, you instead have a Magnum with infinite ammo, and so you're just like, what chef, what chunk, who,
Yeah.
girl, who? So that was easy. I skipped like all the cutscenes, even though they don't count against your time, and I think I got through it in like 2 sittings, so pretty good. The insanity run, brother, that's a different video game.
Yeah.
That game is
literally.
That game is different on Insanity. I didn't know, but in Insanity, they do add the thing where Grace has to save with ink ribbons.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't know that was that because I knew there was like the like standard difficulty / classic where you'd have to do it with ink ribbons. Fortunately, I'd already unlocked the infinite ink ribbon, so it didn't really matter.
Right.
And they throw so many ink ribbons at you, like it wouldn't have really mattered anyway. But that was a surprise. And then what they also do, I knew that they had changed up like where items are. Some of the changes are dramatic. Like specifically, you don't get the ability to make healing items like the med injectors until way later.
Okay.
The thing that really threw me off is twofold. Number one, they changed a lot of enemy placement. So a lot of rooms that you're walking into and you're like, okay, cool. This is the room. I'm going to walk in. I'm going to grab the thing. I'm going to walk out. Nope, zombie. And he's like right behind the door. And as soon as you walk in, he's going to grab your ass. Literally jump scared me at least 4 times. Made me, and like one bite from a zombie on Insanity is, you're like not dead, but you're almost gone. Like you have to use a
you're in
healing
trouble.
item. The other thing, and possibly the scariest thing, is they make the girl like she's on 1.5 speed. She's going faster. And they change her routes. So in a lot of the sections, because I'd already played it 2.5 times at that point, I was like, okay, and then she goes here, and then I do this, and blah, blah. Like I know how she moves. Nope,
Yeah.
nuh-uh. I tell you, when she dropped down in front of me, when I would like, you know, the bit where she first scares you, and then you're like,
Mhm.
she like eats the guy, and then you run
Of
back to the
course.
first room
Yeah.
so that she goes into the light. And nope, nah. She dropped down from the roof in front of that room
So you have to double back to
to
the
the
other
other
safe
safe
room?
room, which I had
Yeah.
not been to yet.
Oh, so you hadn't even turned the light on?
Or sorry, no, I had been to it, but I didn't have like any of the shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's just like, Jesus Christ. Like, scared the hell out of me. She's zip zop zooming all over the place. She doesn't really seem to give a fuck when you shoot her with the Magnum anymore. So you have to hit her like at least, I think, twice to stun her.
Hmm.
Oh boy. A different creature, her. And then really the only other boss fights that become significantly harder are the quote unquote commander, the not hunk.
Yeah.
He's a lot harder because you can't really just shoot him. You still have to do the combos, or like you have to parry him.
Hmm.
And then the very last boss fight, because a lot of the shit that he'll hit you with is just like hard. It's difficult. Actually, that one, to be fair, was just as difficult on my speed run, because on my speed run I was also doing the you can't use healing items run.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So having to do that whole boss fight without basically getting hit at all it's difficult. Um,
Oof.
you really take advantage of the parry, and you realize how little sense him being able to parry some of that shit makes.
Hmm.
Like giant tentacle coming at you, and he just goes bloop, just bloop, knocks that thing out of the way. No,
Yeah.
that's not how that should work. I also have watched the 3 existing episodes of Daredevil Born Again.
Oh, see, I'm still behind. I only watched the week one, and then they dropped 2 episodes this previous week,
They did.
and I
They
haven't caught those yet.
they dropped 2 and 3 on the same week, which I didn't know that they were doing.
I didn't either.
So I sat down expecting to watch 2, and I was like, oh, there's 3 here. I guess another week happened, and then found out later, no, they just did it weird.
Yeah. They're just gaslighting you.
Yeah, they're like April Fools. Here's 2 episodes.
Yeah, there you go.
I
All right,
guess.
cool.
Really good show. Really enjoying it. There's some things about it that I think are questionable. I don't.
Hmm.
It is rare in fiction that I like characters named Daniel, and I also hate the Daniel in this show
Uh-huh.
because he's a little fuck.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I cannot, off top of my head, think of a single Daniel in fiction who does not suck. So, not
Um,
a great look for me.
what about that Mormon guy from Fallout New Vegas, Honest Hearts, that's like, we need to not fight these guys. Let's get the dead horses out of here. Remember him? His name's
I
Daniel.
remember him. I don't remember his motivation. He may have sucked. He
There
might be
was a
good. He's probably fine.
there was there was a guy named Daniel on Lost.
Which one was he?
Don't remember. I don't even remember what
Doesn't
anything he did, but I remember he existed.
doesn't help. But spoilers, aren't all of the people in that like kind of in hell because they did something bad?
Maybe. Okay, what about Night Owl?
He's not terrible. I don't think. I think he's really bad in the comic, from what I've
He's
heard.
he's overweight and his penis doesn't work.
Okay, so I've got half of that, and I won't say which half.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
Um, and then you've got Danny Rand, who, like, the character I don't think
Oh yeah.
generally sucks, but the Iron
Can you
Fist show is universally panned, so that's not great for me.
can you really claim a Danny amongst the Daniels?
At a certain point, I have to, which means I
Okay.
also have to
Well,
take the Dans, which includes Roseanne's husband, who I'm hit and miss
oh.
on.
Oh, John Goodman.
Yeah.
Okay, well, if you're taking the Dannys, Danny Phantom. There you go.
Okay, Danny Phantom. That's true. He
That's a
does
good
get to
one.
make out with a goth baddie, and we love that. We
Yeah,
love
we
that
love
about
it.
him.
We love that for him.
For
We love that for
We
him.
love that for him, who I guess am living vicariously through in this moment.
Yeah.
Anyway, the show's good. We got off topic.
Oh,
Daredevil,
Daredevil. Right. Yeah,
pretty
of
good.
course.
I'm surprised. I don't know how many episodes it's going to be. I'm surprised how little like distance we've covered in 3 episodes, if that makes sense. In some ways, we've done a lot. In other ways, we've done nothing. Um, if this is an 8 episode season, that's concerning. If this is a 12 episode season, it's probably fine.
I don't know how many episodes. Let's put eyes on that. I don't actually know. 8 episode season.
Oh. it
That's
Concerning might not be like the correct word necessarily. It doesn't feel like we've done a ton to move the plot forward in a way of like hurting Kingpin. We
sure.
have
Are
we have at the end of the 3rd episode accomplished one big task, which is great, awesome. It doesn't feel like that's going to make a difference, but it's a thing
yeah.
that is good and I'm glad happened and was a really cool scene. So I love that.
Would your main concern be, because I believe they've already announced and confirmed there is a season 3 of this coming.
Okay. I
They
didn't know
might
that.
actually be filming it already. I'm not actually sure on that, but it's definitely coming. Would your concern then be that this season is just buying time and we don't actually accomplish anything?
Interesting. Yeah, maybe. But the thing is, like, if this doesn't solve the problem, the Kingpin
Hmm.
problem,
Hmm.
then that then bleeds over into the Punisher miniseries, whatever that
Hmm.
is. It bleeds into Spider-Man. It bleeds into
Hmm.
every Avengers thing that takes place in New York.
Hmm.
And part of like Doomsday might take place in New York. So are we going to go through like all of the rest of this stuff and just not address like, hey, Kingpin's doing like ice roundups? Like we're just not going to talk about that in
Absolutely.
there's a
I
bit in the Spider-Man trailer where he's accepting a key to the city, presumably from the mayor or from the mayor's office.
ooh
Is he like? But he's a vigilante, like exclusively. Like there's a lot of
yeah
talk in this show where it's like, oh, we're against vigilantes, but then the only ones that they point to are ones that are objectively not vigilantes. They're just criminals who wear masks, like Muse.
right
Where it's like Muse is
yeah
not a vigilante. He's a serial killer.
oh
That's a different thing. Like those are different laws being broken. There's some gray area, like the Punisher. But the ones that they're pointing the fingers at is like him and Bullseye. Those are not vigilantes.
yeah, that's true.
Those are just killers. So then it's like, so where does Spider-Man fall on that? Like clearly he is a vigilante. Why is he accepting a key to the city? Is it a different city? Is he accepting a key to like Jersey?
It's not for like all of New York. It's just
He's got
one of the
the
neighborhoods.
key to Queens.
Yeah, yeah. Do they have a key? It should be a smaller key, if
It should be
anything.
a smaller key. It should be a smaller key that is looks like it's been dragged through the subway by a rat.
How many? And Spider-Man is synonymous with New York City, of
Of
course.
course, as is, I mean,
But
frankly, a
how
lot of
how
Marvel.
many how many of these Marvel characters do you think are getting keys to the city in New York?
That's a good question because I don't feel like
Did the Avengers not get a big
I
key?
don't think the Avengers would because the Avengers are like they are positioned in a very government sort of way, even though they're kind of not.
Definitely after Civil War,
Yeah,
when they became all those who signed the contract.
I definitely could see this universe's version of Fantastic. Not this, I guess. Whatever, you know what I mean, multiversal. But the version that we have in the MCU of the
Yeah,
Fantastic Four, I can see them
yeah,
getting a key to the city. That feels
for
very fitting
sure.
with their shit.
They might even. I don't recall. That might be something in like one of the opening montages of here's the Fantastic Four getting the key to the city of
Yeah,
that movie.
yeah. Honestly, okay. The fact that now I know that there's a season 3 of this does concern me a little bit. Where it's like,
Just
how much of this are we just gonna not talk about in other projects?
that. Yeah, that would be the one thing.
Yeah, I because going into this conversation, the thing that concerned me was first of all the description of season of episode 3 is just a lie. Like
Oh,
flat out, it's a lie. The description of
oh.
it's a mild spoiler, but I'll give it to you
Hmm.
if you don't mind. I guess
Please, please.
the description of episode 3 is like Daredevil goes and gets some allies, and so you're thinking like, oh, that's Jessica Jones. No, Jessica Jones
She's
still sir not
she's
appearing in this film.
still not here. Damn it,
Does not exist.
dude. I was honestly a little surprised when she wasn't in episode one, given how much she's in like the trailers.
No, like there's the only other not a villain vigilante who has physically shown up is the sword guy,
Yeah,
is
he was in
Duquesne.
episode one.
Everyone else who has shown up has been like a murderer. Or just
Nice,
not a
nice.
vigilante at all and just like a person that the ice guys grabbed off the street and said was a vigilante because they like
Hmm.
stole a candy bar or whatever the fuck.
There's a bit of that.
So I don't know. I have concerns. I think the show is very good. when you then place it into this for bigger universe, it becomes more questionable, and that's not an issue for me at the moment. But I hope that it doesn't become one. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
In other
I
news, I
agree.
also finished season 2 of Hell's Paradise. It's a cool little anime where I think I talked about it like last week or the week before, where criminals and samurai executioner guys get sent to an island to do a thing.
Hmm.
Shit ends so abruptly. The season 2.
Yeah.
Um, they introduce like a new villain faction, I guess, in episode 1 of season 2 that do not appear in the season until basically the last episode of the season. And then we have not done anything to solve that problem by the end of the episode. The end of the episode ends in like the middle of a fight. And I'm like, oh,
Oh.
so the season's not over. No, it's over.
Oh.
It's not done. Like, the story's not done. The season's over. I'm like, oh, interesting choices were made here. Uh, it's a good show. It's well animated. I like several of the characters, especially by the end of it. I think some of them have had really interesting story arcs. But man, yeah, the way that they are like kind of arbitrarily separating the season here is just like,
Yeah.
huh? Like, it doesn't even feel like a to be continued. It doesn't feel like a cliffhanger or anything. It's literally just like, and the episode ended, and I'll see you next year, or whatever. And then the last thing I want to talk about that I did this week is, of course, Survivor. Survivor this week was upsetting for a multitude of reasons. I think it's so hard. It's so hard to be me. It's
Yeah.
so hard to be Daniel
2026 ain't
in
shaping
20.
up the way we
It
wanted
ain't
it to.
coming together for me. I still think it's a really good season. I knew that we were gonna get to a point where like the vote outs were gonna start hurting me because I love so many of the people. It's been a really rough couple episodes for me in particular.
Hmm.
This episode, as you alluded to earlier, had a brand new twist called the Blood Moon vis-a-vis Zelda, which a character not a character, Tiffany, referenced
That's
in the
that's so
episode.
funny. It's so funny that she's like, Jeff, it's like a game. It's like a game that I play because I like games and I play this game and the
Jeffrey,
blood moon
it's like,
happens and then
honestly,
and she does everything. She describes the whole thing, but just doesn't say Breath of the Wild. But
my
everyone's
and
doing the
my
Rick Dalton points at the thing. Like I know, I
and
play
my
more
rating
games.
of Tiffany did go up in that moment. For sure it
Sure,
did.
of
Because I was
course.
like, oh, she hangs and bangs. Cool. Like, we're down.
Yeah.
Uh so okay, Blood Moon, blah blah blah. What it means is we're doing 3 eliminations. The most they've ever done before is 2. I do think, for some reason in my mind, I seem to remember an episode where we did lose 3 people, but I think it was because like 2 people got medevaced and then we still did an elimination or something.
Hmm.
I might
Hmm.
be wrong on that. There's been a lot of Survivor. I can't remember everything.
Of course, yeah.
But this one went really bad for me. And this is unfortunately a thing that the fan base of Survivor has been really upset with for a long time now, where they keep doing this thing basically since season 41, where post merge they will still split up
Yeah.
the merge tribe into sub tribes, but
And
just
what
for
was the
like
point?
one episode, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, so now it's just completely roll of the dice of who you end up on a tribe with for like this one episode. It's like, okay, I didn't have time to build up a relationship with these people, you know. There's not a lot of time for me to maneuver and do, and like, you could argue, okay, if you're a really good like gamer, like, you could figure this out. You could social game your way in here to not get schmooved. But then you
Hmm.
look at it in this scenario, and it's like, we split a team of 17 into 3 teams of whatever that maths out to. I assume that's an odd. I don't know how many that is per. I actually don't remember. Was it 5 per, 6 per? Is
Something
it
like that. Small group. I think it was five.
five,
Because when it came to
15?
the
It must have been
voting,
2 of 6 and 1 of 5.
well, because two got Exile Island.
Oh, that's right. I
Yeah.
forgot. Yeah, Ozzy and Rizzo were on
Yeah.
exile.
So
Good for
it was
them, I guess.
yeah. So it was because when
So it
it
was,
came
yeah. So it
down
was
to
3 of
the
5.
to the voting process, it very quickly became like a, all right, well, we're just going to team up and this person's in trouble, or maybe this person's in trouble. But there were
Right.
some people that were definitely safe no matter what because of the
Right.
happenstance alliances that they
Because
happen to have at
just
the time.
how the dice fell that day, and that
Yeah.
really sucks, and fans always hate that because it's like, it doesn't feel like earned, you know. It's
Mhm.
and in this instance, all three of the people who went out were people who were playing very different, very interesting games, but just happened to be on the wrong side of how the rocks got drawn for these teams. And it's
Mhm.
like, bro, that sucks so hard. And it's three huge fan favorite characters, which yes, it's a returning season. A lot of these people are returning or like fan favorites, but it's like even a like these are like the upper echelon of even the people on this season. Like
Yeah.
at least two of them. What one of them it's like, yeah, I mean kind of, but she's fun. So like she's up there too kind of.
Mhm.
It just sucked so bad. Like
And it put a character. We keep doing that because we're watching television.
but they're
It put
people.
a
They're
it
human
put a
beings.
guy.
Yeah.
It put a guy that I've been really enjoying in a very sticky situation where he even like says like, no matter who I vote for, I'm gonna get fucking yelled at,
Yeah.
and it's true.
Is that
It's
Jonathan?
happening. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like I get that they want twists, and I agree that twists are fun. I do, but like this twist did not. It's easy to say it because I think in hindsight it clearly didn't work out. If the dice had fallen different or the votes had gone different, maybe this could have been exciting. If that shot in the dark that got played had worked, maybe that would have been more exciting. Maybe something fun would have happened there. But as it rides, which they couldn't have possibly known, I guess, before it happened, and they can't, run it back and undo it. I don't know. It just feels like it was never a good idea
No,
to me
I
personally.
think
Because at that point, I'm like, why even do the merge? Just do one more
they
episode, have all
they
three
shouldn't.
tribes go, and then afterwards do the merge.
I do agree with that. I just think the blood mood thing specifically was just like, well, we keep saying we have the most contestants we've ever had. We got to trim
We
some of
got to
you
get
guys
rid of
out of
them.
here.
And
So
and I get that, but it's like I don't know. Having three eliminations on its face, not a bad idea. For me, it is the shuffle. It is the shuffle of saying like, hey, all of the relationships, all of the gameplay that you've done up to this point may or may not matter in this episode,
mhm,
in this vote. Which for a lot of them, it ended up not mattering at all.
mhm,
Because it was just like, oh, well, three of the five people on this tribe are already in an alliance, which means the other two of us are just deciding which of the two of us is fucked.
yep,
Right. And that happened twice, two out of the three times. One of them was like kind of an interesting boat. A guy flopped and did something interesting, and like that's kind of cool.
yeah,
Um, but it's like I just I was watching with some friends of mine, and we all pretty much agreed it was like, what was the point of doing the merge before this? Like, there's no reason. You've already got them separated into three tribes. Just have it be like, okay, we're merging after this. Like, let them know that, and then say, so you're staying in your tribes for this challenge. We can still do the thing where one person from each tribe earns individual immunity, and then
yeah.
say we're all going to tribal. All three tribes are going to tribal. Everyone's killing somebody tonight, and
I
that's
I
better.
did,
That's a better version of this
yeah.
same idea.
I did also feel, as a person who's never watched Survivor before, um, that I was like, oh, we're merging into one big. That seems soon.
It is,
I don't
yeah.
know. I'm not familiar with the history and how long it usually, but I think of like Hell's Kitchen. Only the last 6 or 5 people all get black jackets, and that's when the teams go away, right?
Right.
This we still have 15 some odd people.
It was 17. Yeah. This time it was 17,
Yeah.
and that's more that is the biggest merge tribe that has ever existed. They do merge earlier than you would maybe think. Because it's not like the midway point or anything. It's usually we start with 18 people and then we merge at like 11 or 12, you know?
Hmm.
So I guess maybe percentage wise it's like kind of the same, but it
Mm.
just because we had so many more people, it felt bigger. But I just keep coming back to like doing the merge and doing Blood Moon on the same episode was a really bad idea. It was just a bad idea. It didn't work out.
Yeah.
The way that you ended up shuffling shit up was just like, hey, we're just gonna take three people's very interesting games and just shoot them in the back of the head. Instead of being like, literally, if you just didn't do the merge, then it would be three people. Not necessarily. There could have been twists. There could have been people who like, swung it around or did something interesting and changed the way that the vote worked for them.
Mhm.
But theoretically, it would have been three people who were like kind of on the bottom of their individual tribes who ended up going home. And looking at who those three people probably would have been, the fan base would have been a lot happier. I'll just throw that out there.
Okay, yeah.
Because, there's nobody who were like, yeah, get that dude out. I mean, that's not true. A lot of the fan base hates a specific couple people, but I don't. And I think the people who are on my level don't usually.
Who's getting hated out of curiosity?
Jonathan.
Well, all right.
Jonathan, because he's like, I haven't seen the proof of it, but everyone thinks he's like kind of racist, and I don't know exactly why that is. He probably said some shit he shouldn't have. I don't know. He is a bodyguard for Lex Luger, which means he is kind of in that WWE sphere, which like
old head WWE.
Yeah, which
people,
is like kind of questionable. I haven't specifically seen him say anything bad, but but I wouldn't be surprised to find he had. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm coming at this with no knowledge, just hearing. So
the only person that I
Republican doesn't necessarily
not necessarily. He's probably
racist off the bat.
He could be okay. He could be okay. I don't know. It seems like a lot of people in the fan base just don't think he is. The only person I know for sure is problematic is Stephanie LaGrossa. Who, it's a real fucking shame because right up until like, I don't know, 2 weeks before this season started, I was like, yeah, man, fuck yeah, Stephanie LaGrossa, the Tribe of One. Like, that's great. Love her. And then it came out like after they finished filming this, but after it started airing, that she like went on an anti-Jewish like tirade on a fucking Zoom call or some shit.
Okay.
Like in an interview. And she was like specifically talking shit about a different former contestant called Eliza Orlins, who did not get invited back and is Jewish. And she was just like, she literally said something like, fuck you, you fucking Jew. Like crazy shit. Like crazy shit. Like, oh, your family runs the banks. Like literally like right into all of the stereotypes.
Good God.
Yeah.
Good God.
So okay. So I take it back. Actually, yes, fuck Stephanie LaGrossa. But everyone else is fine. I mean, I have personal beef with Rizzo right now because of what he did last episode. But that's gameplay. He's not a bad person for that. I just don't like what he did. I'm just mad at him. That's fine. But yeah, so people do hate those two. People hate Joe because they find him boring. His like honor and integrity shit. They don't love that. They want people who like play the game darker, dirtier. So they find him really boring. I think his reactions are very funny, and so I'm willing to keep him. But I do agree he doesn't play the game in an interesting way. And also it's like, okay, well, Coach says honor and integrity, and we don't hate Coach. Like everyone pretty much universally loves Coach because the dude's a psycho.
Yeah,
the dude's insane. I love him so much. Literally, there was that one of the tribes of 5 going into the vote was Dee, who I don't care for, but she's whatever. Emily, who I really like, and then it was Coach, Suri, and Colby. That's like 3/4 of my personal Survivor Mount Rushmore. and the whole and they have a whole conversation at that tribal about like how important these people are and like how they paved the way for all these other people coming in. And I'm watching, I'm like kind of in tears because I'm like, I know that one of my boys is going home tonight. Like I know I'm fucked. And it was such a good scene and it was such a great moment, and I loved that. It doesn't make up for how bad the twist was, but that was a great moment. And that's what I want to like hang my hat on for this episode is like, that was a great moment. I'm glad we got that. I hate the way that vote went. I fucking hate the way that vote went. But that was a great moment. So
that's my silver lining. I'm not finding whatever Jonathan got in trouble for. It's just not. I'm Googling it and I'm not seeing anything. So if somebody can leave a comment and tell me why, pitch to me why I'm supposed to hate Jonathan, because I don't know. I'm new here.
Oh, I can give you something. I know something.
Oh, go on.
Because of that bit where he's got a tear in his shirt and just his nipple is like staring straight into the camera.
Listen, he's a barbarian. All right, he's full. You got to survive. You got to go full caveman on it. All right,
He got precisely one nip out, one tasteful Shatner nipple out.
If our hero James Tiberius Kirk can do it, Jonathan can do it. All right, I'm allowed. He's in the pantheon of ready set nipples.
Oh my god, it's such a great show. I really love Survivor, but yeah, the twists like this just like really piss me off. But you know what didn't piss me off, Skyler? Is our first news story.
Oh, what's this? What's the news?
So we got the first trailer, not teaser, full trailer, I believe, for Supergirl. I think this is
wow.
In contrast to whatever trailer I was talking about last week, where I was like, doesn't really do it for me. Really fuck with this trailer actually. I think this is
I
a great
think
trailer.
I think that's actually in contrast to your reaction from the teaser. I may be misremembering, but I do.
It may it may
I
well
think we have a
be.
short. I think we have a short where you're like, I think this is a bad trailer. But
No,
this
you're
one,
right. I did. I said I
opposite.
think this is a bad trailer for what is probably a good movie, and
Yeah.
and this is I think a good trailer for a good movie. I my only complaint with it is I don't think it looks anything like the comic, and I do quite like the comic. But this looks
Okay.
like it's going to be a good, different story, so I am okay with it. But it is another one of those situations. I guess they dropped the name, so it doesn't really fucking. But like, I don't know. It's just a thing where like all these comic book movies are like, we're gonna name it after that comic you like, and then not do that comic, but like kind of, but not really. Um,
Yeah.
and
What are the odds
that
that
is irksome.
because so far we're 0 for 2 on keeping the titles announced for these movies.
Right.
So what are the odds that Man of Tomorrow gets changed as well?
I don't know what they would change it to because he keeps dancing around with it. He keeps saying it's not a Superman movie. He keeps saying it's like it is a Superman and Lex movie, or it is, and he says primarily James Gunn. He says it's primarily a Lex movie. So you're not going to call it like Lex Luthor the movie. You're not going to call it Brainiac. You know, that's just unlikely.
He James. He makes good movies. He might be full of shit though. It might just be a fucking Superman movie.
You know, and I and I wouldn't even be surprised. I think the common take on it after we see it is going to be that's the second Superman movie. Like that's what everyone's going to. That's what people are going to feel, whether he
Let me
wants it to be that way or not.
let me tell you. Despite what he's saying, that's how I'm going in watching it. That's how I'm
Yeah.
gonna. That's what I'm buying my ticket for.
So, okay. So in this trailer, we see Kara is taking what I'm gonna just start calling like her space camper, like her space RV.
Hmm.
She's taking it on a bender, which I guess we are leaning into her being sort of a drunk, which I don't know that I love, but it's I'm sure gonna not be the case for very long in the movie, so it's probably fine.
She'll she'll 85% sober up by the end of the movie. That's my guess.
I think so too. But she's doing that, and it looks like what they've changed the story to is instead of it being just like purely a revenge story, Creme of the Yellow Hills killed Ruthie's family, we gotta go get his ass. Now it is Creme has poisoned Crypto, and we have to go get the cure for the iocane powder or whatever that he got
Hmm.
injected with. We gotta go
Hmm.
find Creme
Hmm.
the Sicilian and get
The
that shit back.
the Kryptonian chocolate.
Yeah, yeah. Um, and I think that is I think that's good. I think it is easier to get an audience behind we have to help the dog than we have to help this girl we just met.
Yeah, especially since they've clearly tied crypto into being her last connection to her planet that she's not at all healthily over losing.
No, no, and I
So,
can't wait to see all of the bits of like her on that chunk of Krypton flying around doing whatever. Like that's going to be
mm,
great moments. I'm really excited for that.
mm.
It seems like they're keeping at least that bit from the comic, and that's cool. Really looking forward to that.
Have we
Um,
praised this casting yet? I mean, the casting isn't
for
anything new.
I don't know that we have specifically, but I agree. I
I,
think Millie
I
Alcock's
think
great.
I
Lobo,
think it's great. Yeah,
Jason Momoa is great.
I did just specifically mean her.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I'm sure Jason Momoa will be good as
I
Lobo
I
probably.
mean, it is. He's just basically playing himself as a spaceman.
Yeah, he likes to do that every once in a while.
So like, I'm down for that. I think it. I didn't mind him as Aquaman. I think that he makes a good Aquaman. He makes a very different Aquaman than the one that I would expect from like the comic books, but a good
Mhm.
Aquaman nonetheless. Him as Lobo is just that is exactly Lobo. Like that is exactly who I think of when I think of Lobo is the guy
Him
who he is going to be.
him as Aquaman was, I will generously call it a necessary step that the movies specifically needed
To
because
sort of de-white the cast a little.
well, not just that, no, but to make Aquaman not a joke, right?
Oh,
Of
sure.
course, of course, some thing since James Gunn specifically with the Aquaman fucks fish jokes, haha. That's kind
Oops.
of stepping on that a little bit, but I think whether or not they were right, they felt it necessary to we have to make Aquaman the most badass dude we can because it's that New 52 thing where like, oh, this guy talks to fish and then he has all the sharks jump out of the water
Sure,
and
sure.
like tear parademons apart. So it's like, yeah, I just talked to fish. They felt. that they needed to curb the jokes by not just having a blonde-haired, blue-eyed ocean dude
Yeah,
having the sea turtles plug up holes on submarines, right?
sure.
Um, to the point where I wonder how they're going to tackle it now in the new
As far as I'm aware, they haven't
chronology.
even begun talking about an
No,
Aquaman project.
they're too busy
So
talking about other stuff.
it's there, and some of it's very weird. It's weird that they like started toying with a Sergeant Rock movie before we
We've
talked about one of
we've
the
already
main Justice League members.
we've already talked about how strange we find their
We've
priorities, but it's
we've talked
whatever.
it to death, and it's still true. It's still very true. Uh, but it is what it is. I think this trailer looks great. I'm very excited for this movie. I think it's out like pretty soon. It's what is it, 6/26/26? Is that what it was?
Is it maybe.
I'm pretty sure.
It's either June or July, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's coming up.
Um. So very excited for that. There's a couple of things I don't love about it. Like I said, I don't love how very different it looks. Not necessarily even the plot, but how different it looks from the comic. Because the comic was this very like bright, vibrant, colorful thing, and maybe we'll get some of that later, and it's just not in the trailer. I hope we do. If not, like it's okay, but I'm just not thrilled about it. And then I don't like what they've done to Krem. So Krem in the comic is just like kind of a dude. Like he's a dude with red hair and like a big beard, if I remember right. And now he's like, he's got 100 piercings and he looks like a goblin from the Mines of Moria.
Hmm.
Um, and I don't love the look. I really don't. It feels like between that and adding the he poisoned the dog bit, it does feel a lot like they looked at the story of this very popular, very good comic and they said it's not enough. And that's probably unfair for me to put that on the like handful of things I'm seeing, but that is how it comes across to me is like, oh, we need to spice this up. Like people won't like a girl version of basically John Wick, although I guess making it about a dog makes it more John Wick.
That's true.
So I don't know. I don't know. There's aspects of it visually that I'm like, it's not what I would have wanted.
Hmm.
But I do think people are gonna really fuck with this movie. I think
I think it looks very fun.
I think that this movie, here's my hot take. I think this movie's going to turn a lot of people around on Crypto. People who didn't like Crypto and Superman, which I was okay with him, didn't really like him or dislike him. I think this is going to make people be like, well, I don't want him to die. Like, I love this boy.
Uh, I don't know. I don't know. And I'm saying this. I don't dislike Crypto. I think him being in two movies back to back is going to make people hate him more, though.
Yeah, there's probably going to be a handful of people for sure. And those people will be loud because they always are.
Yeah, of
They always seem to be.
course.
Skyler, but that's not the only news from the world of movies that we have. We have one
Mhm.
that you know a lot more about than I do. Um, everyone's favorite idiot,
Mhm.
Jonathan Majors, while filming
Mhm.
a probably bad movie for a definitely bad production company, fell through a window
Mhm.
with his co-star.
Yeah. So this literally, I don't know if the news just broke. I don't know when exactly this happened, but it was just sent to me literally as I was sitting down to record, and I was like, oh well, I'm gonna mention that. So Jonathan Majors, known for acting and known for troubles, um, has combined the two into one that probably technically not his fault this go around, but he and his
No.
co-star of a Daily Wire movie took a
Uh,
tumble out of a second story window.
do you?
Um,
Sorry,
I
real
believe
fast. Do you
they're
want to
okay.
say? Can you explain real fast what Daily Wire is for those in the back?
Right wing media.
Okay, there you go. It's where all of the canceled actors end up finding
Yeah,
work.
it's the Jonathan Majors got canceled for things he did, and then took the pipeline many such people in Hollywood do of like, well, then I'm going to cater to a certain political spectrum,
Mm.
and that's what Daily Wire is there for. So he and his co-star took a tumble out of a second story window. I believe they're both okay.
From what I
but it caught.
read, the co-star had to get stitches in their hand. That was the damage that
Yeah.
I saw, which is like
Okay. So
not terrible, but
the crew on this production said we're seeing enough things like labor wise that this is not safe, and we want to that you won't let us. Big surprise. Daily Wire doesn't like unions.
no, Republicans
And
famously
so
hate the union.
they the crew walked off the set, and the one of the producers on the movie, his quote here in referring to them wanting to have a workers safety union is, we quote, don't negotiate with communists.
Right. That old
That
chestnut.
that basically says everything you need to know.
Right.
um
Because when the small folk rise up and demand to not be executed, you say,
it's a
"Let the
it's not.
communists eat cake."
It's not even small. It's Jonathan Majors, the star of your awful, probably racist movie,
I mean,
is the one falling out a window here.
right,
They're
but he
like,
wasn't.
no,
He, from what I mean, I guess I don't know one way or the other, but it didn't sound like he was part of the like workers union thing that was happening. It seemed like
no,
they were
I
upset
don't think he
about the
was.
general
Hmm.
clearly bad working conditions. But it didn't specifically say that he had like signed on to the union shit or whatever. Like it didn't really say one way or the other which side he was on. Which the implication is that he is. I mean, not against it, but like wasn't part of it.
We don't really have a groundbreaking take on this, which may beg the question why we bring it up. Just because this is hilarious.
There wasn't a lot of news this week, and
This
this is
is this
funny.
is this
Like,
is hysterical that this happened, and everyone looking at this situation saw like the exact response you'd expect. Like, okay,
right,
that fits.
production company
And no,
fucked up and got somebody hurt to the point of bodily harm. And then when people said, "Hey, could you stop doing that?" they said, "No, fuck you, you communists."
yeah. Um, no real person's gonna see this movie.
No, I don't even know what it's called.
I don't think it has a title yet.
Okay, good. Yeah, we always should start filming things before we even know what it is.
Yeah, yeah. But this will have the same kind of. Actually, I would have a smaller crowd. I was gonna say the same crowd as Melania,
It
the documentary.
it may just by merits of being an action movie get more viewership than Melania because the crowd of people who would be into right wing media aren't interested in watching an educational documentary.
No, 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 no. You know what? This will have the same. This will do the same numbers as the Marine Five.
Sure.
No, no. Not to diss the Miz, Mike Mizanin. Sorry, but WWE produces a really shitty action movie. That's gonna do the same thing.
Probably. Maybe a little bit less. I wonder what it's like. I don't know what its like marketing is going to look like. I guess that'll be sort of a big thing.
It'll be like, look, Jonathan Majors is back because the woke couldn't keep him down. That's what
The
it'll be.
the woke mob couldn't stop
The woke
Jonathan
mob
Majors, and
couldn't
now
stop.
he is
In this
major.
movie, Major Jonathan is gonna shoot the woke mob in the head.
Major
That's what.
lib
That's what.
crusher.
Well, that's fantastic. What else we got going
I'm
on?
glad we live in this universe. Speaking of potentially insane things, hey, bad transition, but here we are. Do you remember what was it? The in the quiz from the end of last year, where one of the questions was what what building or something. I forget how I asked it. It was like, what public works project is Grand Theft Auto costing more than now? And the answer
Oh,
at that time was the Burj Khalifa, the
yeah,
largest
yeah, the
building
big ass in the
in
United Arab
UAE. Yeah,
Emirates. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
in I think Dubai.
I believe that's
It
Dubai.
could be
Yeah,
Dubai. It could be Riyadh. I actually don't know. I
or
think it's Dubai.
Abu Dhabi, maybe. Is that?
No, maybe. I mean, I one of them. I don't know. I thought Dubai, but I recently found out I don't know shit all about where cities are in that region of the world. So
Sorry,
I'm just dumb. It's not. It's not, that's on me.
it's
Uh,
in Dubai.
Dubai. Okay, so I was right at least. I wasn't confident about it, but at least I was right. So at that time, it was rumored that Grand Theft Auto had cost roughly $2 billion.
That's a lot of money.
Guess what? Not enough. Their like earnings or some shit came due, and they had to officially report on how much money was spent on the creation of this game so far, and it's over $3 billion. They spent $2.1 billion just on wages, not including any of the other overhead or marketing or any of that shit. Marketing hasn't even started yet, and they're already basically at $3 billion.
I I
It's and I said this in the group chat. They are really testing the limits of like too big to fail of the phrase, because every time there's people who I will talk to about Grand Theft Auto, all kinds of people on different podcasts and group chats and shit, and I'll be like, how much does this thing have to sell in order to make its money back? And every time I get the same answer. Oh, for sure it will. Like, it's the biggest thing in the world. The world stops.
That's not the question.
The world revolves. It'll definitely make that money back. Like, the world revolves around Grand Theft Auto. It's the coolest thing in the world. Blah 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 blah. Here's the thing: the fucking budget's $3 billion. Literally, like, are there enough people who buy video games to make that money back?
We're gonna fucking find out.
They're gonna put this shit out, and they're gonna get a huge amount of sales, no question. And then online will make its money, and it'll slowly like roll money, but it won't make enough money fast enough. They're for sure laying off just a fuckload of people as soon as this game comes out, right? Like 100%.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
the end of the next quarter after it comes out, we're gonna see conservatively like 800 people get laid off. That's my assumption. Because that's an absolutely so let me put that into perspective. So yes, the Burj Khalifa cost $1.5 billion roughly to build. So this is 2 Burj Khalifas now. This is 2 of the world's biggest buildings. The Hubble Space Telescope, $2.1 billion. The amount of money that they spent just on paying employees, which I'm glad that they're paying employees.
Oh yeah, that's good.
For now, until they lay them off in however many months.
That's bad.
Is the exact same figure as it cost to put the biggest fucking telescope ever made into space. And then the projections right now are that it's going to hit at least $3 billion, and that's assuming it doesn't get delayed again, which I think both of us think it probably will. $3 billion is the bounty of Luffy right now in One Piece.
3 million berry.
The man who's like killed a god, basically.
Uh-huh.
So if you want to make a Grand Theft Auto of your own, all you have to do is kill Luffy.
Good luck.
Good luck, fucker.
Man, we live in quite a time, because I don't care. And let me expound upon that.
Okay. Circle back.
I feel like we're living the James Cameron Avatar thing all over again. Where it's been so many fucking years. We spent like a decade and a half of him being like, I'm gonna make another one. No, that's too much. We spent a decade, basically a decade.
I'm gonna do it again. I don't know why that's the voice you did.
I'm gonna do another, because he's old.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna do another one, and he finally did. And then, you know what? That doesn't work, because I don't hate those movies. I those are okay.
That's right. You did face turn on them after the third one. You were like, Azula Cat is hot.
I don't think this is worth it.
No, for sure not. Well, and the question isn't even like, will it make its money back, right? Will it make $3 billion? Because, like, I mean, that is a question for me, but that's not the question that matters.
When this comes out with a price point of $140.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's not even, $3 billion is not the figure that they even need to hit, because they're not looking to put this thing out and break even.
That's true. They want to make bank.
So what is the number that Rockstar has projected of like, this game needs to make this amount of money in the first year and a half or whatever for it to be considered a success for us? What is that number? If they put $3 billion into, keeping in mind that in other video game companies that are less money hungry, seemingly, we've seen like 10, 15, 20 million in sales be like missed our expectations from people like Square Enix and PlayStation. So what the fuck does Grand Theft Auto have to do? First of all, to hit 3 billion in sales. I genuinely don't even know what that figure is. Someone do the math. I'm not going to bother. But then also it's like, okay, because what do we say with movies, right? They have to make like twice their budget back.
Mm,
I can't imagine that
yeah,
that's much
roughly.
different for video games. So what? They have to make like $6 billion for them to be happy with the amount of money that it made.
Well, I think it depends because the marketing for video games is not the same as the marketing for movies. It
I
just
mean,
isn't.
for this one, it might be.
Yeah, well, maybe.
I
I
I just can't.
I think I think the answer is I ain't no businessman.
Right.
This thing's gonna be drowning in microtransactions, right? You have to
The
imagine.
online already is like the online for five is a fucking shit show of like that's where they
But
make all their money is off those fucking shark cards.
of course. So they're probably not looking at like here's how many copies we need to sell to break even. We need to keep people on the hook for another
Yeah,
20
we need
years.
to gouge them, baby. We need to get them in.
So
But they're
that's
still gonna have a
that's
figure. They're still 100%. They're gonna have a figure of like this is the amount of money it needs to make in the first year, right?
but you know what? Here's a good question about that. Does that even are you even hooking the same number of people that you were when the last one came out?
I
Because
don't
you know what we
think
have
so.
now. You know what we have now that we didn't have then is Fortnite.
When GTA 5 came out, we didn't have Fortnite, we didn't have Roblox, we didn't have any of these like I mean we had some, but none of these like the
And
games that Matt Piscatella and these other like video game industry analysts talk about being like, hey, these are 5 games that take up 60 or some shit percent of the amount of
yeah,
playtime of all video games. None of them existed except I think Minecraft is I think in that window maybe.
and so Minecraft did exist, but it wasn't what it is now.
No, Minecraft's a very different thing now. Back then it was like we
Um,
were playing the demo version on computers at school.
so um, so like when you look at like the youth, God, I hate the youth, but
The
when you look
youth.
at the youth market here, they're like, uh, okay, we used to have kids playing Grand Theft Auto, and they'd be like, "Mom, please, please, I won't even pick up the hookers in my car. I promise,
I
Mom, I
promise.
just want to. All my friends are
Mom.
playing it, Mom." And then some of the moms say yes, and then a lot of the moms don't care, and of course you have some moms that just don't let them. Whatever, get those kids out of here. But like, they don't need to make that argument for Fortnite. They're already playing it.
Right.
So are kids like, oh, I need Grand Theft Auto 6 because it's the one where you shoot guns and drive cars and stuff. Like Fortnite already has everything.
Right, exactly.
Like
Well,
do kids need that anymore?
no. Well, and the other part, the other thing to take into account here is like the last fucking Grand Theft Auto, the last time Grand Theft Auto was relevant, that a new one came out and that people were like getting into it was
Mhm.
in like what 2012, 2013.
Mhm.
And kids younger than let's say 10 probably weren't really playing it back then because you literally couldn't. Your parents were probably not doing that for you.
Mhm.
So that means that there are 23-year-olds who likely have never played a Grand Theft Auto but play tons of video games. Are they gonna be
I
are they
don't
just
know.
gonna fall in like all these
I don't
because
know.
there's an entire minimally there's 13 to 15-year-olds, right? Like which is a huge core of the video game like buying populace, right?
Sure.
Who have never played who
I'm
did
will
not exist the last time a
I'm
Grand Theft
willing
Auto game came out.
yeah, absolutely. I'm willing to buy that. I don't know if I'm willing to say that like 23-year-olds have never because they have the ability to go back.
But are they?
I not impossible. We're going back. That's our whole thing.
Sure, but yeah, sure. But like I do feel like because okay, we are deeper in the video game space than I feel like the vast majority of people are. Like the
Sure.
majority of people who play video games are
There
buying
are
1 to 2 games a year, and it's a ball game and a gun game. Is this going to
yeah,
be the
ball
third
game
one?
gamers. Well, it's got guns in it.
But they've already got their Fortnite and their Roblox and
Maybe.
their
Hey,
Call of
wait.
Duty.
Oh, that's it. That's the answer. Maybe they've put like a 2K style basketball game in Grand Theft Auto,
Sure, sure,
and that's what costs so much money, and it's gonna be the ultimate. It's gonna have both.
sure. I mean, you can already do all of that in both Fortnite and Roblox, which are both just like
Oh,
user generated content machines.
You can play basketball in Fortnite?
Yeah.
Well, shit, never mind
People
then.
just make their own. People just because that's the thing, right? Because when we think of Fortnite and well, we don't think of Roblox at all, but when we think of them, we think of like their base game modes. We think of the battle royale, right?
I don't even know what
But
Roblox is, to be honest. I
it's
mean, I
a
know what it is, but I don't know what they do there.
nothing. It's basically a
It's
platform
just a
where
chat. It's a chat room, right?
it's a chat
That's
room
what I.
where people pick up kids, but both of them. The thing that is like making them huge is not the thing that the developers put into the game. It's the user generated content. People are going in and they're making like, oh, here's the new Brain Rot game, or like, oh, we did what's the fucking Dress to Impress. Like that's a Roblox game. That's inside Roblox.
Huh.
Um, so it's all this user generated content. That's what keeps bringing people back and like locking in that group of people. That group of people, I don't know that they're moving to Grand Theft Auto. They're locked into Roblox. They're locked into Fortnite. They're doing this shit already. And so I think, and I watch me be wrong. And honestly, it's probably better if I am for the industry.
Could be wrong.
But like, this thing is gonna come out. I genuinely think at this point, there is no way that this game can hit the numbers that they needed to, and it's still gonna hit insane fucking numbers. I'm not saying it's gonna be a failure. It's gonna it's gonna be the best selling game this year and next year and the year after that, and it's still not gonna be enough for 2K, for Take Two.
I mean, my fear is that this massively inflated budget, and then it's going to make them like jack the price up, and it's going to do irreparable damage to just the rest of the industry, where everyone's going to seemingly follow suit without
Grand
having
Theft
the
Auto
need
5 has
to.
already done that. The reason that I genuinely believe one of the biggest reasons that the industry is in the state it's in right now is because everyone's trying to chase Grand Theft Auto's coattails. They're like trying, like, oh, we have to be the everything game. We have to be this bit. We have to be this thing where like, oh, you can go to the bowling alley and you can do this, and the fucking horse's balls change in the weather. That was Red Dead, but the same company. Like,
Yeah, cool though.
we have to have all this shit that no one actually gives a fuck about. But like, oh, if the world isn't like 100% realistic and blah blah blah, then it's not Grand Theft Auto. And if it's not Grand Theft Auto, then it's shit or whatever. Which like no one actually playing video games gives a fuck about. Like you've got your loud talking head dipshits and like tech bro assholes that make up 0.1% of the actual people who play video games, but those ones talk really fucking loud. And so I think the industry hears those people and they're like, well, we gotta chase this, we gotta do that. And it's never fucking worked out for anybody. Even the Spider-Man games are not making their fucking money back because they have ridiculously high budgets and they have to give a huge amount of their money to Disney because that's the deal. And it's like, no one else can do what Rockstar has done. And at this point, I'm looking at 6 and I'm looking at, yeah, it just looks like more GTA. And in 2026 or 7, when it comes out, is that enough? Do people give a fuck?
Let me tell you.
If you go and you ask it, hey, audience, if you know a Gen Z kid, go ask them right now. Pause the video. Go ask them. Do they give a fuck about Grand Theft Auto? Or are they just going to be like, well, if my favorite streamer watches it or plays it, I guess I'll play a little bit. Like, is that what it is?
I'm going to ask my brother. Hang on. Quick question, yes or no. Do you give a shit about Grand Theft Auto 6? No. Okay, bye. Bye. I don't know if you heard him, but he said no, not at all.
Okay, and I feel like Reed is, if anything, more into video games than a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, but it is a difference of demographic, right? Because like 99% of what he plays are like indie games.
Sure.
He plays a lot of like, especially like all like the small indie games that like surface on Game Pass. He plays the shit out of those.
Sure. Yeah, he's not your ball and gun gamer for sure.
But we played Resident Evil 9 together, and he loves that.
It's a really good game. It's an actually good game.
There are AAA games that he does play and does like, and it's just like I just don't know. I don't want to say a blanket statement like nobody gives a shit about the story, because some people do, and I've heard people like say good things about the story of Grand Theft Auto 5.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
And you're gonna know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The one person I know who is like the biggest defender of Rockstar's bullshit and the Grand Theft Auto games in general.
Okay.
Whenever I'm like, yeah, but like I don't know what the story's gonna be. I don't care. Like I don't know that the story's gonna be any good. He's like, no one cares about the story. People don't like, people get Grand Theft Auto for the online, and he's probably right.
That's probably true.
But it's like, okay, well, all the fucking the 3 billion is going into the campaign. That's where that money went. If they just
You don't
wanted to
think
make
it's
Grand Theft Auto Online 2, that shit could have been out 6 years ago.
why don't they just do an online game? To be
Because they're
honest,
fucking crazy. They're like,
just yeah.
we have to set a bar so high that the next generation of video games that comes out will still be getting compared to our shit. And that's what Red Dead 2 has been doing. And
Listen,
look,
at the end
and
of the
Rockstar does that. And they're a fucking
yeah,
terrible company to work for, and they're
uh huh,
shitty, and they make these
uh
blood
huh,
diamond video games that people who don't
uh
pay
huh.
attention to the industry are like, oh my god, they're so great, they're amazing, blah blah blah. And they don't see all the like actual blood, sweat, and tears that went into it, and then how all these people have had their lives ruined by working on this shit and have constantly going on interviews about like how dog shit it is to work for that company. And even with all of that, I'm looking at this and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if this can be the success that they need it to be at this point.
I I we're doubtful, but I'm not rooting for this to fail by any means.
Me neither.
Um,
But here's the other alternative, right?
yeah,
What if it succeeds?
yeah, that ruins everything too.
What
So
what if it succeeds and then they're like, okay, Grand Theft Auto 7 is going to cost $6 billion and it's going to come out in 20 years.
I just want healthcare.
I just want to be able to see a doctor, dude. Like, I don't,
Yeah,
I
like
don't need all this. I don't need to see the fucking horse's balls change when it gets
a
cold. Like,
hundred
I'm not looking at the horse's balls. I swear to God, Rockstar, it doesn't do anything for me.
$100 copay just to get my meds refilled, and
Oh my God.
you guys are spending billions of dollars on GTA 6.
They did a whole thing. They did a whole thing in this one that they've talked about in interviews where they're like, we made a completely like active ecosystem with all the animals that'll actually hunt and kill each other and you can go and hunt them. And all I can think is like, I can't think of a single fucking person who I've ever heard about going hunting in a Grand Theft Auto game. I cannot think because those animals like their animals existed in 5.
Yeah.
They,
Uh,
even in Red Dead where there was like side quests. Most people didn't fuck with that. They went and they got like the legendary guys because you had to you had to kill the legendary bear to get a new pistol holster or some bullshit. And that was it.
okay,
They
sure.
weren't like, hey, I'm gonna
Sure.
hang on. What is this game? Why does it need to be everything? Why does it need to be $3 billion?
All right,
It's fucking
let's get this
crazy.
on the table. What is the minimum price point this game's going to launch at?
80. That's the minimum.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds about that
80.
that even sounds like low
The
a
average,
little bit.
so some companies started bumping up to 80 like a while ago. Nintendo did it for a couple of things. PlayStation is going to do it, I think, also for Wolverine. I think Ghost of Tsushima was 80. I might be wrong on, or Ghost of Yotei rather, was 80. I might be wrong on that. And then they got a lot of blowback. And so then they were like, okay, well, we're going to do like different pricing for different things. So it was like, oh, well, Mario Kart World will be 80, but then this other Donkey Kong will be, or was it the other way around? One of them was 80 and one of them was
I think it
70.
was the other way around.
And so like they're playing with that, and then like Xbox is over there doing like, okay, well we're gonna do 80, and then people are like, I'm not paying that for that game. They're like, okay, we'll do 50, and we're like, how the fuck did you drop Outer Worlds price that much? Like that's crazy. Um,
I don't know. When does the line get drawn? Because like if you
it's
think
gonna be this one.
the first thing I think of is if a game is going to be $80,
Uh huh.
I want it to have the content to be worth that.
Here,
But at the same time,
right.
I don't want to play Grand Theft Auto 6 for 70 hours.
Let me ask you this,
I don't.
because this has been no, I don't either. This has been a huge debate that I've been hearing
Yeah,
on podcasts for people whose reviews like matter, if that makes
sure.
sense. The like
Yeah, of
Metacritic and shit. Big
course.
podcasts. Do
Uh-huh.
you think that the price of a video game should impact its review?
Ooh.
I have a
Yeah, a
strong
little.
feeling about this, but
I
I will
I'm
let
gonna
you
say
say.
I'm gonna say I'm interested to hear what you say, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna say yeah, a little
Yeah.
because if I bought, I'm trying to think of a good example. One of my favorite games of all time, Castle Crashers.
Sure. Yeah, very small game, but yes,
If that game was $70,
different experience.
I'd be a little fucking upset.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think to an extent, overpricing for a game, yeah, it does impact the review a little bit. What's your take on it?
I think it absolutely matters. The
Yeah.
argument against it is like, oh, but the price will change over time and my review will stand forever, and I get that. I do get that. Right? unless it's a Nintendo game, because then the price will never fucking change at all.
That's true.
But at the same time, I'm like, okay, but who's looking at the fucking review of the game 10 years after? You know what I mean? Like, if at that point they know whether or not they're not looking at the reviews, they're talking to a friend, they're looking at like a retrospective video on it. Like, it doesn't fucking matter. I
That's
think,
true. The
I think
concept of the review will change because
exactly.
it's no longer an official. Like, look at comedy films like Mel Brooks' Young Frankenstein, right? The Rotten Tomatoes for that is fucked, and it's one of my
Right.
favorite comedies of all time. So it's
We don't
like
even have to. We don't even have to leave this week. The fucking Mario movie's got like a 50 something on Metacritic, and people,
that's
but the
true.
audiences love that shit.
Our personal friends have said it's very good.
Right.
So yeah, I don't
So,
know.
but for me, I don't think it's the most important thing. I think it's very secondary to how good the game is. But I think it
Hmm.
matters. I think it should matter enough to sway it like at least a point or two. Like,
Yeah,
if you take, everything aside, if you take a 7 out of 10 game and that game's $20, I think that that's
yeah,
kind of an 8. Like, I think that that makes it a better game because it's
sure,
like, oh well,
sure.
but it was cheap. Like, I could get into it early, right? Or I could get
Yeah.
into it easy rather. If it just But if I spent $80 and I get a 7 out of 10, I'm feeling different about it
Hmm.
than if I paid $20. And I
I
think a lot of the big reviewers, and I hate to get on this particular soapbox because I don't know that it's like necessarily fair. I don't know how many like big name reviewers actually like are in this headspace or whatever. But I think when you become a bigger reviewer and they send you shit for free, that part of
mhm.
the conversation is
It
harder for you
does.
to engage
It goes
with.
a little goes away a little bit.
Right. Like, even if you like really think about it and you like try to take it into account, the fact of the matter is it's different for you
You know,
because you
I
got it
do
for
think
nothing.
maybe the review score doesn't quite change, but if you were listening to a review of a game, you're like, this game is fun. It's not a 10 out of 10. It's fun to play though. It's got some good hours of entertainment. I give it a 7 out of 10. But don't buy it at full price. Well, that but don't buy it. That's like an asterisk on your
Right.
7 out of 10.
I I agree. Right.
Yeah.
It I do think like, I understand the argument against it mattering, but I think it does
Mhm.
matter, especially today where it's like the people who are buying these games, like, they're not stupid. Like, they're looking at a review and they're knowing that like, oh, that's from when it was a full price game and now I'm
Mhm.
buying it at $20. You know what I mean? Like, they're not idiots. They're able to adjust for that change in their head, right? And
Mhm.
even when you look at a video game on, like, if you go to Steam or whatever 10 years after a game came out, it'll still have its full price and it'll just say, like, it'll be crossed out and say $20 like that. Like, you
Yeah.
can see what the full price was. Like, it's not the price isn't like always dropped anymore. That's not a thing.
Right.
Remember when we were looking for this is gonna be such a fucking asshole, but you remember when you were looking for that one like Walking Dead game and it just never fucking went down?
Yes, back in high school, they released that like notoriously awful Walking Dead. I don't remember what it's called,
It was
but
the one where you're
it's
Daryl.
the
Yeah.
Daryl Dixon game. And I was like, I'm not paying like anything over $10 for this or whatever. I don't remember what like number I set, but like I if a used copy comes across me at a GameStop for like this price or lower, I'll snag it because at the time we really liked The Walking Dead and we knew it was
Right.
going to be terrible, but we wanted to fuck with it.
Yeah, we were like, this is gonna be
And
bad, but it'll be a fun time.
it just never dropped. So I was like, well, I'm not
I'm
doing
not.
it.
Yeah, it's not worth that to me. The
And
bit is
now
not worth it to me.
now as an old curmudgeonly man, I'm beyond the point that I even give a shit,
Correct.
and
Yeah.
I'm never gonna play that game.
No, probably not. Um, yeah. So it's a mess. So I think the argument of like, oh, the price will go down, like, that's kind of meaningless today, because I mean,
Mhm.
we're looking at an industry right now where, like, for the first generation ever, like, console prices have not gone down 6 years. They've gone up. The PlayStation 5 Pro is $1,000 with tax right now.
Mhm.
People were concerned. People were like, "Oh my god, the next PlayStation, the next Xbox are going to be $1,000." Bitch, they're $1,000 now. Well, the
Yeah.
PlayStation one is. The Xbox is like pretty close, but it's not. Either way, too fucking expensive. Like, the prices have gone up. That's insane, right? But we're like,
Yeah.
oh, but we can't take the price into the in our review. I don't know. We kind of got off topic at this point, but yeah, to wrap it back up, the Grand Theft Auto situation, the cost that they put into this is insane. I think even if it makes its money back, we're seeing huge layoffs, and 2K will call it a failure.
I don't think 2K will ever admit this is a failure.
Probably not. But I think when they do the layoffs, that will imply that it's a failure for me, for
Yeah,
us.
absolutely it will, but they won't they will never put they'll blame it on something else. They'll
I
be
can see that.
like, we were gonna make a Red Dead Redemption live service thing, and it fell through because of some dickhead, so now we have to fire 7 million people.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on to the next story real fast. These next two I think will go pretty fast because there's not a whole lot to say about them.
Right.
This was a fun little report that came out. So Last of Us factions for Last of Us 2. It was originally gonna be just packed in with Last of Us 2, and then it got spun off into its own thing, and then it took years and years and years, and then it eventually got canceled as part of the live service push that PlayStation was doing.
Mhm.
We have recently found out that at the time of its cancellation, it was 80% done and 24 hours away from being shown to the public.
Whoa.
um, the reasoning that we got at the time for it being canceled was because they all of a sudden realized that if they made a live service game that they would have to continue to support a live service game after it came out, and they were
Yeah,
not
that's
prepared to do that, which I think is
oh.
a stupid that they didn't somehow know that that was going to be the case going in. That's embarrassing.
How'd
If
y'all
you're Naughty Dog, that's embarrassing if that's true.
how'd y'all get that far?
That's what I'm saying. Like that's insane. Like you know what a fucking live service game is. You're Naughty Dog. You're literally one of the most capable studios in the games industry. Don't bullshit me and pretend that you don't know what that is. Like you don't tell me. Don't pretend that you didn't run the numbers beforehand of like this is what it means to run a live service game. You absolutely did that. Someone at PlayStation ran those fucking numbers. You cannot tell me they didn't. And then it started being a thing where they were like, oh well, we didn't think it was going to be good enough when it came out, and they didn't say that. That was like rumors after the fact. Their official statement was always, we didn't know it was going to be such a pain in the ass to continue running a live service. And then afterwards, we people being like, oh, maybe it's not that good. Keeping in mind, of course, that almost no live service game launches good. Most of them
Right.
launch like okay and then get built on until they become big, right? Fortnite famously absolute trash fire when it launched, then finally picked up steam. Same thing for PUBG, same thing for like pretty much all of the big ones. Which basically what this comes down to is, and it's a problem the PlayStation has had for a while with these sort of IP situations, is they are too afraid to fail to take risks, but then they don't decide that until they've already spent all the money on the risk.
Hmm.
If they had put this out, it would have made money. Would it have made all of its money back? Maybe not. But it would have made money. And they wouldn't have been in the financial situation that they find themselves in right now, where they're having to cut down studios and do layoffs and all this bullshit. Potentially. Or they'd be at least better off. But the argument that I keep seeing online, and I haven't seen this from PlayStation, but I've seen it from PlayStation people, if that makes sense,
Right.
is they're like, oh, this makes sense because if they put this out, it would damage the IP of Last of Us if they put out a game that wasn't like a 10 out of 10, because the first two were really great games and the TV show has been great. And they're like, we don't want to ruin the prestige of what it means to be Last of Us. And I'm like, okay, well, you can't do that. I'm sorry, in business, if you're going to take a brand or an IP and you're going to keep it fresh and keep it alive, you have to take risks, and sometimes those risks are not going to pay off. You cannot put Last of Us and God of War and Spider-Man up on this shelf and be like, we can never put out a 7 out of 10 for these. That won't work for you. It will not work for you. That's why they're seeing these ballooning costs. It's why a live service version of all three of those IPs has been canceled because it wasn't good enough, I guess. Like, you're putting all this work and all this money and all this time and people's livelihoods, frankly, on the line to build these things, and then you're saying, oh, but it might not be a 10 out of 10 absolutely perfect video game, so we have to cancel it. When it's 80% done and you're going to show it to the public tomorrow.
That's the crossroads we're at now. Is either cancel it or throw another $1 billion onto it.
It's fucking ridiculous. I don't have anything else to say about that. This is just a confirmation of something that we've known about, like how badly thought out this live service push from PlayStation has been.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a confirmation of that. So that's it. It's upsetting, but we knew it. So that's all that there is for that. On the Xbox side of things, They've announced their annual showcase. They do it every June.
That's right. Yeah,
It's
yeah,
their
yeah.
E3 not E3 showcase because E3, of course, famously was murdered. I guess by Jeff Keighley. Everyone gives him credit for the kill, which I don't know that that's a positive, but they do.
Thanks,
Um,
Jeff.
they it's gonna be on June 7th, and it's gonna have a Gears of War E-Day Direct afterwards. They've done this the last couple of years, where like they'll focus on one of the bigger games afterwards. So it was like Fable last year, I think. This year it's gonna be Gears of War E-Day. Makes sense. That's gonna be a big game.
Hmm.
Um, and they've also announced as part of this that they're bringing back FanFest. It's a hugely popular fan event that takes place in multiple cities across the globe, where basically a bunch of fans get to come together to this event and like watch the showcase together. And then usually there's like some demos that they can play, or like there's some people from the company there that they can talk to, and there's like a panel. It's basically just like a very small Xbox convention at different cities across. I think there's one in LA, and then it's in like fucking Cologne or whatever.
Hmm.
Um, they haven't done it for the last couple of years. I think basically like since COVID, they haven't done it, and they're bringing it back. I think that's cool. People are going to be excited for that. But there's really nothing to say about it. It's just again, it's a slow week. I don't want to necessarily get into like, oh, what are our predictions for the showcase, because it's not until June.
Yeah, yeah,
So there's no way of really predicting anything. Um, and frankly, I always think predicting a showcase is like kind of a stupid thing to do, because it's like we'll see what happens, and then we can see like what the games are. Like I'm not going to predict
yeah.
what the I don't know. It's never made sense to me.
Short of making a bingo card just for fun.
Sure, bingo card. I could see that. Anyway, in our final story of the day, and the one that I put last because I think it has the biggest SEO traction,
Ooh, 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 ooh.
there is a rumor going around, a pretty well substantiated rumor going around, that Disney is not in talks to, but is desiring to buy Epic Games, the company behind obviously Fortnite and the Unreal Engine. People believe that this is for two folds. Number one, they're a huge partner for Fortnite. They're constantly putting stuff in there. A lot of different seasons have included Disney characters, like in the Battle Pass. They are by there's the start. Famously, they announced that Palpatine wasn't dead in Fortnite. Disney and
Yeah.
Fortnite have been linked for a long time. So they're like, oh, okay, that's part of it. But then there's also the aspect of it where it's like, oh, but the Unreal Engine is also a really big deal. It's used not just in video games, but also in movie production. So them owning that, not having to license it, would also be great for them. Plus, they now have a lot of extra money because they just Sora AI died, and they were invested in that, so they got their money, their $1 billion back for that. So people are like, oh, they're going to invest in something else. And it seems like one of the major options that they're talking about is just buying Epic Games. Would I be pro or against that? Kind of neither. If it,
Hmm.
I don't know, like that's not an exciting take to have. I don't think Epic is a particularly well-run company, so I don't think I'm not like, oh no, you'll ruin what Epic Games is. There will be
Hmm.
layoffs, and that's bad. So I'm against that,
Yeah.
obviously.
Hmm.
But I don't know. I would rather it be Disney than the Saudi Arabian government. like, and it
Oh, well,
and it
when you
and it feels like that's what like EA just got bought by fucking Saudi Arabia. Ubisoft is in the process of getting bought by China. Like fuck me, you know what I mean? Like Disney, I know that they're also a capitalistic like nightmare thing. At least they're like pretending to be nice.
sure.
I don't that's I have such a fucking like low bar of entry for this shit at this point, where it's just like a company that I like Disney for the I don't know their business practice. I'm
Yeah,
sure they do
we
scummy
grew up
bull. They do a
we
lot of
grew
scummy
up with the
bullshit.
IP, and we can't help it.
Yeah, they do a lot of scummy bullshit. There was that time where like a guy almost like died in the park, and they're like, you can't sue us
Yeah.
because you had Disney Plus. They're an evil company for sure. They're an evil
Yeah, yeah,
company.
yeah. All right, yeah.
Uh, but so's Epic.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if this ended up happening. I'd be like, yeah, all right. I truly don't think it would really change, like on the consumer side of things. Don't think it would change fuck all about Fortnite at all. I think maybe there'd be like more specific Disney crossover things. There's already been rumors for a long time of them like basically building a Disney park inside Fortnite, and they've never done that yet.
Hmm.
And there's also been rumors of like an ESPN park, which ESPN I think is also Disney.
Oh man, I can just imagine. So you know how Disney park passes tickets are expensive, stupid expensive.
Correct.
I can imagine that they'd be like, "Look, you can visit our park digitally for a subscription service of only $24 a month."
Well, it would probably just be Fortnite Crew, which is $12 right now. But yeah,
Nope,
they could up that.
nope, nope. It would be separate. It would be a
A
separate
separate thing. Yeah,
subscription
fuck me.
service.
I wouldn't put it past them. They're Disney.
So your little avatar can ride the ride,
Yeah, they'll add
but it's
they added
cool.
shoes that you can put on your guys. They'll add hats,
Oh,
and then you'll get the little different Mickey Mouse hats.
Oh,
No, it wouldn't work on most characters because they got like like how do you put a fucking hat on Goku?
you can have an attachment where your guy runs around with the Mickey Mouse shaped balloon that's inside another balloon. Those things.
Oh,
You know
how
what
do
I
they
mean?
do it? How do they
I
do
don't
it?
know. I don't know what the fuck's going on there. I've never
It's
gotten one.
crazy. Wow. Magic.
You want
The
to go to
most magical thing.
Disneyland?
I do constantly, all the
Let's
time.
let's go. Let's go to. Let's go.
One of my
Let's go to
coworkers is
Disney.
going to Disney next week, and I am jealous of
Oh,
them.
oh, damn it.
I think they're going to the Florida one. I actually don't remember off the top of my head. But anyway, so that's like potentially the big news this week is this idea. The conversation is at this point, it seems like the majority of people at the top of Disney really want to do it, but there's a couple that are like, do we really want to do that? And so people are really skeptical about like, did this, like the fact that it leaked when it has, normally these acquisitions leak when it's like official that they're making an attempt. It's
Hmm.
rare that these things leak when they're just kind of talking about it. And so a lot of people are like, oh, this will probably never happen. And I do think that that's like the most like Occam's razor of it is like it doesn't happen.
Hmm.
But at the same time, I look at the partnership between the two companies and I'm like, it kind of fucking makes sense. Like they use Unreal Engine for a lot of their movies. They're a huge partner with Fortnite. Like I don't know, like I wouldn't be surprised if they did it. And I wouldn't be upset. I would just kind of be like, yeah, all right.
They would only do it if they would think that they could get a big return
They would only do it if they
quickly.
thought putting Jonesy in the kids park in Disneyland would make more money for them, which it probably would.
Who I don't want to speak
A
ill
Fortnite
of.
coaster would actually
I don't.
probably make a lot of money for them.
I don't want to speak ill of Jonesy because the guy that, or the person, I don't know who they are, but the person who like was like designed Jonesy was in one of the
Sure.
recent layoffs, right?
Right.
And that was a story. So I'm not trying to. But who's do people give a shit about? I remember people were like, "Oh, Jonesy for Smash," and I don't know how
Yeah.
much of that was a joke, but like,
Some of it for sure.
why?
Jonesy's the main character of Fortnite.
This the yeah, sure, but
He's the
he's just
protagonist
a
of Fortnite.
guy. He's just
He
a
is just
fucking.
a he is
There's the fish.
so
There's the fish thing,
fish sticks.
and
Yeah.
there's the banana guy.
Keely. Yeah. I
Why Jonesy? I don't get it.
he's the main character. So when Fortnite started, it was you had all of your sort of like default skins, and one of them was Jonesy, and I don't even think he was named at the time. And then they
Mm,
were like, "Oh, we should start adding a story to this," and they were kind of the first battle royale to really do that. And so they were like, "We need characters, so this one's Jonesy." And then he just started evolving and evolving, and then eventually he was voiced by Troy Baker, and like he's had some cool story beats. Like he just yeah, he looks really generic, and so do a lot of video game protagonists, and I agree, and he
mhm,
is boring.
mhm.
But for these people who have played 13 years or whatever the fuck it is of Fortnite at this point, like yeah, he's the
All
guy.
right,
Like that is the
all
guy.
right. You've
He's also
convinced me.
it's also because like he's one of the only like big characters of Fortnite that you can point to that aren't rented from a different IP.
Sure. Yeah, of
Because
course.
like you're right. Like you name some of the other ones. Like the big name people in Fortnite.
Named is a strong,
Yeah.
strong wording of it, but
The
yeah,
the
go
big
ahead.
like Fortnite original characters are him, and right now Hope has been big, and then like Peely and Fish Sticks are kind of jokes, and then every so often like and then everything below that are in a tier of just like, oh, they're like iconic, but they're not really characters. There's like the what's her fucking name? There's like the pink bear one that's Cuddle team leader, I think. And then there's like the Durburger guy. Like there's guys like that where it's like, oh, and we're gonna get 100 different skins of them that are all $15, and you can get the new upgrades for them. Like those characters all exist, but they're on a different tier.
Hmm.
So yeah, unfortunately, Jonesy is the guy. Like there's not really another human character that you can point to and be like, yeah, that's the guy, except maybe Hope, but she's also like relatively new. So
You basically started speaking another language to me. That was
yeah, I'm sorry. Oh,
impressive.
The
But
Rock's in it this season. He's back.
oh, well, as his character,
He
isn't
plays
he
fuck
the foundation
the
that I
Foundation.
knew
That's right. Yeah, he plays the
because it's
Foundation. He's one of the
yeah
seven.
because
Um
he'll do anything other than show up at WrestleMania.
it's actually
He'll,
hilarious. So this season in Fortnite is a you pick a team between the Foundation, The Rock, and a
Mhm.
returning villain from like 100 fucking seasons ago, the Ice King, not the one from Adventure Time.
Sure.
And for like Epic Games is like notably surprised that the majority of people pick the Ice King over the Foundation. They're like, why wouldn't you pick the Rocks team? And it doesn't matter. You don't actually like team up with them
Because
really. But
we're tired of Dwayne. That's why.
to be 100% honest with you, I picked the Ice King because I was like, I thought that most people would pick the Foundation, and I wanted to be on the smaller team. That's literally all it was for me, and I was clearly wrong.
You chose the Alliance over the Horde, for shame.
And I'll do it again too. I actually picked the Alliance in World of Warcraft as well, and I stand by
You
it.
know, my I'm 100% for the Horde. I
Yeah,
truly believe it. I believe in what they stand for, which is to be monsters. I don't know. I don't know
become
what they stand for.
ungovernable.
Yeah, but my highest leveled character was a night elf, so fuck me, right?
That's what I'm saying. Can't even stay true to your own. I'm just kidding.
No, no, because why?
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. This would be a big deal if it went through. I think in terms of like people's in terms of like pop culture and people talking about it, it would be a bigger deal than the Fox acquisition. But in terms of like actual capitalistic monopoly shit, not really.
Mm.
Like I don't believe Disney owns a video game company currently. I'm probably wrong, but to my knowledge, they don't. They license their shit out to other people.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they. Yeah, I don't.
So
It's a good question.
I mean, there would still be layoffs, but there would probably be less than if they were bought by another video game company because they're not going to have a lot of the same like shit that Epic Games has.
Mm-hmm.
Like they don't have people who know how to make a video game engine like Unreal. They don't know. They don't have people who can run a live service like fucking Fortnite. They don't have that. That's not a thing that's in Disney's repertoire. So laying people, I mean, they still lay people off, but they won't lay as many people off as if like Xbox bought them or PlayStation bought them or whatever. So there's that. I mean, that is a positive. If they have to be bought, which it seems like it does. It was another rumor back at the time that the layoffs were happening that I discounted because I didn't think it was realistic. Was they were like, oh, maybe they are, trying to get themselves down to a more reasonable size to sell. And I was like, Epic's not going to sell. They're like the biggest guys in the game. But then I was like, oh, Disney. Yeah, they can buy them. They got the money. Yeah. So fuck me, I guess, huh? Anyway, is this
Yes,
so? If they build a whole Disney park in Fortnite, would you play it?
No, I would just play that Connect game that came out in like 2012 or whatever that was.
Yeah,
The Disneyland Connect.
yeah, but
Because
you're
it's basically a 1-to-1 recreation of the park. It's so
yeah,
cool.
yeah, but you're a huge liar because you never even went in on Disney Animal Crossing, Disney Dreamlight Valley. You never even went on that shit.
I don't even know what the fuck that is.
Yeah, educate yourself.
Yeah, sorry. I just got canceled live on my own show.
Anyway, guys, if you want to talk about or tell us all about how you feel about Disney maybe buying Fortnite, you can tell us in the comments on Spotify and YouTube. Those are the two places we are, and we would love to hear from you in both of those places. Not one, but both of those places. Tell all of your friends about how great we are because we're trying to get to 300 subscribers, and we need all the help that we can get there, frankly. A lot of people have been telling me to just buy subscribers, and I'm not going to do that. So we do need your help to do that. Yeah, genuinely had somebody tell me that I should just do that the other day, and I was like, go fuck yourself.
Ew.
Yep. Yeah.
Ew. Hey, person, I appreciate you trying to help. Reevaluate yourself.
That's great.
If you come on, man. What even is that?
What? Damn, Daddy. What even is that?
What the hell? All right.
What the hell is even that?
Yeah.
Anyway, you can follow the show on Twitter at @RSR_POD. You can follow me on Twitter and Blue Sky at Daniel J. McG.
You can follow me on Blue Sky at Skyler 8-bit.
Thank you very much, everybody. And until next time, we'll see you around.
Bye-bye.
The game's just starting, the world's so bright. Jump right in, everything feels right. Let's play, take a trip back in time where pixels and memories and